And I'll just, yeah. All right, so how you reckon this one's gonna play out at Razor?
I think it's going to be a close game, but Trinity does have a very strong, good record, and Wizards is kind of struggling here with the 16-6 for Wizards and 26-6 for Trinity, and I think it's going to be a good game, but I do think that Trinity is going to come on top eventually, but it's just a matter of how people can do capitalize as Trinity puts one in. Talking about
Solid.
plays.
Well, from previous experience, because back in the day when I had a team, well, I still do have a team, but when I had an Alpha League team, I had this guy called Keshi. He was a 2K MMR player, and the thing that set him apart from everyone was just the fact that he's kind of got experience up in them high lobby games. So he could kind of just 2v1 1700s. So I think we might see a similar thing with Crispp since he's like 2K MMR. But you never know, it might have just been a one-off thing, but we'll just have to see. But in my opinion, I reckon Trinity have got this one. I mean, a bit of a fumble on that goal line by Zoro.
Zoro putting a very nice shot on net, and Heck not able to
Yeah,
get it out of the net, but Zoro helps him, hits him right up with the shot.
it just kind of caught out. Heck was just stuck in that position. But, you know.
Yeah, Lat trying to do something. Zoro cleared away. Zoro trying to hit it, but Heck trying to make a play bound to Latumos. Can he make a shot? But Crispp clears it out to his corner.
It was a solid pass by Lat, not going to lie. These guys have got some pretty good passing plays going on. They're not really, like, how would I put it, happening all the time, but they're happening at the right moments to kind of make a good play. Like, that was a good rebound by Lat.
Dims down the lead to just one. That was a kind of a good read there, and Zoro not able to keep it out of the net, but from very good chemistry coming out by both teams. But Trinity, I think, do have like the as you said, more um, like experience, I guess, in games, and they have a very strong record right now, and I feel like they're gonna they're gonna do very good against Wizards here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what you call him? Heck, I haven't seen him play much before, but I've heard he's a pretty good player. As for Zoro, I believe he's been around for a while. Possibly back in Whiplash days, unless it's a different Zoro. But yeah, I just kind of can't really keep up with these games. They're just really speedy players, aren't they?
Yeah, really hard to
Like,
read sometimes, but yeah, it's gonna be.
you just kind of don't really know what they're gonna do next.
Yes.
But
They're so fast to the mid lane by Crisp, and
that
Lat's
was,
just there to just completely capitalize on his mistake. But uh, very sad mistake by Crisp, putting it tied with just over half.
yeah, it wasn't necessarily Chris' fault because I mean he was kind of out of position, but I mean Zoro could have done a little bit better on his touch. That was a solid pass, bit of a light one by Heck. That's going to go off the wall. Challenged by Zoro. A bit of an open ball. Will Chris beat him? Yes, he will. And that's just going to send that one out. No one's in their net right now. It's possibly a goal. Zoro's a good save. Crossbar challenge. Oof, that's rough. It's an open net. Solid finish by Heck.
Yeah, really solid finish, and like I said, just really good reads and chemistry, and Heck just reading Crisp shot or that clear attempt, and Heck just gets another one on the board for Wizards, making it in the lead for just under half of the game left.
I mean, with that initial aerial that Zoro had in the goal line, it was kind of readable that it wasn't going to be a solid clear. So just kind of a free net for Heck at that point. But we got Crisp and Heck in a 1v1 right now. Crisp's doing a capitalize on it and score.
What a play!
Just uh just the simple moves can throw over such high MMR players. You'll
It's
have to
just
do
a
all fancy stuff.
it's just a toss up on who's gonna come out on top with like everyone's just trying to get it good passing plays and good shots, and you just never know what they're gonna do next. So high MMR players, like you said, and just like they're so speedy and you never really know what they're gonna do. And
Yeah. Well, we do have to bear in mind this series is a best of 7. So, with that being said, people might start to drop off because I mean,
that is
playing
true.
like oh, that was a nice musty flick, but playing like many consecutive games of Rocket League can be very draining. And then, not to mention if like a team goes on to win, then it's gonna be even harder because they'll have to play longer. But
Yeah, and if like some and if one of the teams uh just go on a losing streak, then they kind of get demoralized on the way. And that's Crisp is a really nice shot. Reads the crossbar.
he really does. I mean, we are in the semi-finals of this playoff, so it's kind of cool. But I mean, like with Alpha League being so slow, like the playoff picture is quite small. So it can be quite nice if we got a few more of the like high level players coming into this league. But then again, like it's like top 5% of players are in this rank, so pretty hard. But
Pretty hard to find the players for the teams. As Chris, oh, deflected by Lat off the off the back wall.
well,
But
if Trinity can play the cards right, which I think they just have, they can run away with a win here because they're only 2 goals up and there's 49 seconds left. Bit of a light touch by I think it was Chris, not Chris Lat, beforehand. Kind of laid it off towards Crisp, but Crisp's just in the position, the right one, every time, it seems.
yeah, this first win could be crucial for Trinity, and Wizards are really gonna try not to, or like they really don't want them to give Trinity this win, because if they do, I mean, honestly, yeah, there is a best of 7 to come back, but once Trinity gets going from the past, they just keep on going. They don't stop, So
Yeah, I feel
uh,
you. Well, we got 20 on the clock. It's kind of a squabble game for Trinity right now. Just trying to maintain the lead, which shouldn't be too hard. It's kind of mesmerizing now. They're just jetting from one end of the field to the other. It's kind of like
you just clear
taking
after
a turn.
clear after clear, yeah.
Yeah, just backwards and forwards. It was sick of it, but there we have it. Game 1 over, and Trinity will take the lead. Got pretty nice colours for the teams because since both teams are um, well, they both got similar colours. They're both green, so then we had to use like the alternate colours for Trinity.
Hmm.
So I didn't get really confused, but all in all, it's kind of just helping the players out so they get confused. That was game 1.
Yeah, Trinity
Yeesh.
does come away with that win, and um,
I mean, if we
just
look at the scores, Crisp, uh, he's kind of put a fair shift in. Heck's kind of lacking in the back, but I mean, you know, I reckon he could put a bit more work in and probably help him. But with Trinity, they've had one less shot than Wizards, but still managed to come away with 2 goals. So their shooting percentage is higher. So it's
and
not too bad.
I think Crisp getting 3 out of the 5 shots, this accuracy, and like I think Wizards are struggling to get it out of their net, but I feel like the aggression on Trinity was just really high in the last game, and I want to see if they can keep it up in this next game and get another win and maybe come back with the whole series.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I've heard a few theories, but some people have been saying that having lower ping can influence your gameplay, and it seems like that theory might be flawed just because
Wizards do
Wizards
have
have
the lower ping, yeah,
they've got
and
lower ping together, but it's like I mean they scored one. You never know, they might win, but can't count any team out yet. I reckon once it gets to like game 3, if a team's going like 3-0, I reckon at that point it might just be a solid win. But we'll just have to wait and see because anything can happen in this game. It's kind of like
Yeah, as Wizards just put 2 on the net and 2 just a lead over Trinity, and Trinity just kind of lacking in this game compared to last game, and uh, they're gonna have to try and pull it
ooh,
back, I guess. As Latumos
oh
gets a really
man,
nice double touch to is 3 goals over Trinity, and Crispp just
Lads putting
lacking
a
in
show
net.
on him for us. Honestly,
Yeah,
he's kind of just he's giving in to losing. He's like, I want to win now.
yeah. Uh,
But, oh, bit of a bump by Crisp on his teammate.
Wizards coming out with the 4-0. It's
It's not even
crazy.
been a minute yet. They're killing them before they've even
Not even been
started.
30 seconds.
Exactly. It's
They're
brutal.
killing them in the second game. Trinity gets that win, and they're just 4 points each, and they're just lacking in this next game. They're like, well, we gotta win. No point in trying now, but that is definitely not the case.
It's a shame that goal difference doesn't have much impact in this game. Otherwise, it would kind of help them out if they got like loads. But we keep these things kind of solid, so we won't see any teams forfeiting out of rage. I hope. But
Yeah, it's definitely a wake up call for Trinity because they're gonna need to get their head in the game. As Chris with a really nice musty, and heck, not that fast enough to keep
that
that
was
out of
a
the net.
breezy,
Or that was a
for
breezy. Oh, my bad. Oh, it was a breezy. Yeah,
oh
what a clean breezy.
crazy. Crisp is one of the more mechanical players, as is Lot. I mean, you can see Heck doing like a few spins in the air, but nothing really comes of it. But I mean, Crisp has just got like really good sense when it comes to reading the ball. He's just kind of catching up, slotting them away in the corners. But I feel like if Trinity played how they're like positioned now, where Heck was, I mean Zoro was like on the midline, and Chris was like in field putting the shots on, it could probably help him a lot rather than getting like screwed over by a clear.
Hmm.
Because you don't want to be sat too close, otherwise they'll just end up getting like fully swept in a clear. But
Yeah, they're
Chris put us
definitely
right
trying to
down.
bring it back, but it's gonna be pretty hard because they gave in like 4 goals at the very 30 seconds of the game, and it's gonna be hard to pull back. But I think they're doing works. They're doing already 2-4. They've already cut the lead in half, and I feel like they could do it. It's just a matter of like how like the chemistry they want to put into it, like the passing and the positioning that they have, and it's going to be really precise on if they want to get this lead back.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice wave dash by Chris. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it kept the ball up. Oh, but he's just died anyway, so it's kind of brutal. The push is probably going to be slowed. Going back into the Trinity half, Zoro's forced to shadow, but it's an open net. A bit of a, I won't say mistake by Zoro, but I mean going for the bump in that situation probably wasn't the best of ideas. Chris did whiff, so you can't blame Zoro completely, but it's just a bit of a
I don't
mind
think
over
he whiffed.
matter.
He more of 50'd the ball with Zoro, which was kind of weird. But I think they
Uh,
50'd and it just went.
uh,
It happened to go right in the midfield.
it looked a bit weird from my camera angle, but you never know. That was a pretty nice stomp, but Zoro was a bit deep in defense, so you couldn't really follow. But the shots on again. Currently 2-5, 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Chris going for more breathe. Oh my god, you, Chris really likes his like musty flick freestyle things.
Yeah, freestyle flicks. I
Yeah,
mean, they do work. They do work, but they're really risky to go for. But when they do work, they're really powerful and really hard to save. But
yeah.
I feel like Wizards have really done really good to keep it out of their net, but especially in this game because they're leading 3-0. Oh yeah, dang, and they put up the lead to 4. But
Well, it seems like they're just riding the momentum that they've had from the first few minutes of this game. because they're just kind of bashing in constantly.
Yeah, the
But
pressure is out of this world on for the Wizards. They're just not giving Trinity any breaks at all. And
what what I've seen in like a few like pro gameplays is once a team like starts popping off in like a game and they're like quite high in goals, it kind of demoralizes the other team for that like singular game because it's kind of like you have to put a fair bit of work in just to regain a draw and then like actually win it. So I feel like this game might be closed out by Wizards already, but
it's
we'll just
just
have to see if the Trinity can
yeah,
handle it.
I've seen comebacks. Um, I've seen comebacks way worse than this. It's just a matter of if Wizards are gonna throw that hard or not. Um, but I've seen it. I wouldn't call them out yet, but I think.
Ooh,
Oh, as
oh,
Zoro puts a
nice.
really good angle on net, nice double.
In all my time of like casting, because I've casted like a couple of Alpha League games, I've never seen people hit like stuff as nice as this today. And I don't know if it's because like it's become harder to get into like Alpha League. Like I wouldn't say it was like salary because it's still being 1700, but like I feel like the players have just evolved like immensely since the last time I've watched them, and that was in like a good 2 months ago, so not really long ago.
Yeah, these teams are really popping off today, but um, I think it is also you got to think that these are the best of the best teams in the Alpha League. This is the playoffs and the All Stars, so like um, these are the best of the best. So they are gonna pop off a little bit. Well,
Yeah, I mean you got to hit something nice on stream, don't you? Got to
yeah,
flex on a
gotta hit
certain
the clip.
definitely. You rewatching the VODs, snipping them, getting the clips out, but yeah, it's got 15 seconds on the clock. I think this might be game at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wizards are really running away with this one, and
bit of salt in the wound with Latumos and Crispp, but
yeah, and it's just that 4-0 at the very beginning just really demoralized them. But I thought it was close. It was closer than I honestly thought. Trinity did bring it back 3-6, um, uh, but they did better than I thought they would. I thought it was going to be a shutout or something,
Mhm.
but they did better than I
uh,
thought.
all right. Well, we're gonna have to take a momentary pause on this game just because Crisp has left the match and Zoro's getting food. But oh wait, Chris has just come back. I don't know what's up with this kid. He's probably got his the
He just got
baby car out.
probably. And like
Yeah.
get the get the Grubhub just ordered into the house. He's like, hold on.
He ain't settling for the loss. I've seen Chris play a few times. When he loses games, he decides to like switch into random cars. He's kind of like Flakes, I believe it was the guy that
In
hit like the musty in the. I think
the
it was
Ripper? In the Ripper?
yeah, I think it was a Scarab or the
Oh.
Artemis. I can't remember. He just whipped out at a like auspicious car and just did a musty flick on pro stream.
Yeah, Flakes is the one with the Ripper. He plays mainly with the Ripper, but I think he did do that with a random car once.
Yeah, it
Um
was kind.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
doubt it from Flakes, honestly. I wouldn't doubt it. Uh, we're
yeah.
gonna
These
have
guys
to.
have just joined.
They don't know he's going to get food. Is he back or?
Is anyone else here? Oh no,
Guess
it's all
not.
gone to shambles. Yeah, his food's taking a while. Right. Um, let me ask Crisp. Uh, oh
Please
god.
excuse this momentarily pause. Got some technical difficulties to figure out.
uh, the summoning four, it seems, with all the lightning. But hey, you never know.
Ye-
Right. Um. Oh, there we go. Got our own
Oh, there we
Crisp.
go. All right.
Solid. Right. We can finally get this one underway.
Game
Uh,
3, it's 1-1, and uh, it's gonna be a question on who's gonna win this one, but it was definitely a wake up call for Trinity last game, but I think they could pull back this one as Latumos. Oh,
oh,
that is the most embarrassing thing ever. I've personally done that on a stream game once, and it's the most embarrassing thing in the world when you own goal. That is disappointing.
It wasn't obvious that it was going crossbar, but then it wasn't obvious that like it wasn't going in. So you can't really handle that one properly because I would have done the same thing in Chris'
Yeah,
situation.
it is a hard one to read for sure. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I was it's just very sad times when you're trying to, oh my, and they're gonna run away with this one, aren't they? They make it 2-0.
They're just riding that momentum like before, but hey. Bit of an unfortunate one for Crisp. He had minimal control of the ball. So trying to keep it there was a bit hard.
Yeah, Chris winning this kickoff for Trinity. Trinity are gonna have to bring it back already in this game 3. I thought they're gonna have to wake up in the last one, but I guess not. Well, as Crisp gets a nice bounce off of the post and gets one in, gets and halves our lead and gets a 1-0.
I
And
believe Lat was hoping his teammate beat Crisp to the ball because he was a bit wide out there. So as soon as he whiffed, it was kind of all gone.
yeah, it was a hard one to read, especially I honestly didn't think that was going in off the post. It was very I wouldn't say lucky, but uh, a a a good bounce, as they say.
A good bounce.
Yeah,
I
off the
mean,
post, which I
yeah,
personally never get.
I feel the same way. But you know, these guys, everything kind of goes how they plan it. I guess the majority of the time, anyway.
That is
But
true. Apparently not for Trinity though with the last game.
oh no, they got scored on in the first 30 seconds, and like 2 of the goals was kickoff goals. It's just like, ouch. But hey,
And Zoro getting a nice air dribble and ties it up, and they're bringing it back, and that's a good sign from Trinity, and it
it,
was a very nice shot by Zoro.
this is like Freestyle Friday. Everyone just spinning around.
Yeah,
God, it is Friday as well today. That's kind of cool.
yeah. Maybe it is Freestyle Friday. I never know.
Convenient. Yeah, we're gonna see a nice flick.
That's a nice flick. Chris clears it away to Heck. Kind of gets to the midfield, gets it past what I think it was Crispp, and Heck gets a nice shot off of the pass from Latumos, and they catch him off guard.
Just that split second late to Lat cost him the goal. Because if he managed to hit the ball instead of Lat, it would have been a lot better. Because Chris wouldn't have been in the right position.
Yeah, as Wizards win the kickoff, Heck's gonna have possession as he's air dribbling it to the midfield. And Zoro clears it away. Gonna be over. But he almost reads it, and he hits the crossbar. Chris gonna get a nice possession here. Latimos cleared it away. Zoro's gonna have possession, trying to get a little quick flick bend or Crisp, but nice shot, but saved by Lat. Tech trying to clear it away. Chris getting a banger clear to Wizards side, and Zoro getting a little bit of a whiff there. But Trinity doing a fairly good job compared to, the past.
Yeah.
And how do you think this game is going to turn out?
Well, currently is 1-1 to both teams, I believe, right? So
yep.
I mean, the state of this game, it doesn't look like anyone's out of it right now. I mean, yes, Wizards are winning, but we've seen what Crisp can do, haven't we? I think Wizards have kind of adjusted to the fact that Crisp is very mechanical, because the only reason they got scored in the first game was because of Crisp's mechanical shots, and they weren't expecting it. So they've kind of adapted to that by bringing out their own mechanical shots. So technically, the game's kind of in a 50-50 at that point. But
they really weren't expecting Crisp's mechanical skill, but like you said, they really did adapt to it, and they're definitely doing a good job and getting tied 1-1 after the first game. That's pretty good, and like you said, no one's out of it, and yeah, Crispp Kiss in 2 seconds probably could take it off the wall and air dribble it into the net, you know, and as he probably does, he almost does now. But Zero gets a close shot, but yeah. Oh,
Oh, it
Lat,
rolls off the back.
no,
Ouch.
no, that is rough.
It really
Unfortunate
is.
landing by Lat off of Zoro's touch.
Right into the net. Unlucky on that path, but you know, this game just kind of is full of BS half the time.
That is true.
On
Oh,
the
as
flip reset,
nice flip reset by Lat, but Chris gonna get away from the save, but it got past Zoro, but Chris gets a return flip reset off of last flip reset. He takes it and he shoves it right back in their face and gets a really nice flip reset himself, showing him what he really is mechanically.
yeah, he kind of had the perfect setup for it. It was really, really smooth, but bit of a shame for Lat not being able to score his in the first place. But you know, it's just how it is. If you can't do it the first time, you're gonna get battered and bruised, like for your
That is
mistakes.
true.
So.
So now they turn the tables, and now Wizards gonna make up one goal, and it's gonna be close to see if they can do it. And as Chris tries to, they're gonna try and keep this lead and try and get a win for Game 3 here, and run away with the series after that. But it really is gonna be close.
Yeah, the
Slot
situation
minutes
in like high lobby games is the fact that things such as like boost stealing, it does have an impact on like the players, but the players are actually that good that they can just figure out the boost lines with the 12 pods, and then just kind of like have boosts. So going for like a full-on boost steal in such a high lobby game wouldn't be as beneficial because the player can still find them 12s and just get in the air anyway, like so. But Crispp is going to knock that one down and get Trinity a win. Once again, he's got the MVP, as he did in the first game. Pulling his weight once again with nearly double the amount of points of Zoro. But Lat and Heck, they're pretty balanced together, so you know a balanced team is probably the better one, I reckon. Because you know Chris can't be doing all the work, but he's eating the burrito. Honestly, he's gonna have like a massive stomachache McDame, and then you know like he's gonna request to go to the toilet mid game. I'm telling you.
He probably is. I will not. I won't be surprised if Zoro does that. But oh, he said, "No, mommy."
Yeah, that's what I love about this league. Everyone's just so like so together, you know. They're all just kind of vibing, you know.
Yeah, the sportsmanship is real from these teams, and yeah, even though like it might be disappointing for somebody, but they really do like to make it a good time, and I like that about just in general Delta League, you know. So
Yeah, just full on respect for all these players that are coming out here today. They've earned the right in this playoff spot, so they're just kind of keeping us entertained, I guess.
and playing their best and trying to give it their all and trying to get this win and go into the championship and versing the winner of Dragons versus Sonics after that, and
That was a solid interception by Crispp.
it really was.
But yeah, we're just gonna have to see how this one plays. Lat's pretty good in his 1v1s. He's kind of
Lad does have that one mechanic skill. He does have those flicks, especially in as we've seen.
I think that's a goal. Oh, never mind.
No, it was really close, really off the crossbar, but Heck clears it away.
The balls are flying everywhere.
Heck is gonna have backwards.
Oh,
You're gonna
that
have
was
possession, but
oh my! But right, we got. Oh shit!
Trinity's gonna have possession, but Heck gonna intercept it. He almost gets the ground pinch. Lad just getting that very nice ground pitch pass, I guess, and very nice read.
You just don't mind me. I'm full of shit right now. But yeah, right. Uh, uh,
Okay.
bit of a dead kickoff. But we got Lat. He's gonna push on that one. Chris with a solid interception. He's gonna put that one right. Flick it high. His teammates kind of stuck on the ground at the moment. Backboard shot. Probably an
Heck,
opportunity to shoot. Heck's gonna recenter that. His teammate's not there, but Chris is gonna take that one controlled. Chris has got. He's just kind of gone to the half a boost. Bit of a risky play right there. Indeed, he probably should have rotated back and given Zoro a bit of help, but I guess it was kind of banking off Zoro hitting that, which is fair enough. But
Lat showing how he can capitalize on people's mistakes again and again, and
he was
this
just kind of
time,
lurking there, wasn't he, in the mid?
yeah, he tends to do that in his games, and he really does. I've seen from his last games and the last series is that he kind of does like to sit around mid a lot and just trying to. If someone gets just like a little lob, I guess he intercepts and takes it to their net,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is very good quality to have, but
Oh,
Trinity, I guess, is not keeping up with it. As
the
another
own goal.
on goal comes out by Wizards.
I mean,
I think it was by Heck. It was right.
it
No,
was.
it was from Lat. No,
Wow.
another second time.
It was just one of them panic ones at that moment because Heck was quite far back, so he didn't have time to challenge even if like Chris was going to properly shoot it himself. So like
Yeah,
just kind of tried to be the hero, I guess, in a
Cuxer.
situation where we didn't need it. But yeah,
Zoro's gonna
Zoro,
have that possession, but just gives it away to Heck, and his Lat gets a very nice setup on the backboard, but doesn't is not able to get the read, but intercepted by Crispp. But Lat almost gets a double in again. But Chris gonna take it up the wall, showing what he's mechanically skilled for, but intercepted by Heck. And Wizards showing a very strong game here again, with the aggression, and they are 1-2, and Trinity is winning in the series, but they're gonna have to win this game to tie it up, and or have to make it up a lot because it's gonna be 3-1 if they lose this game. It's gonna be very hard to come back from a 3-1 series.
well, do you see like there being a potential for a game 7?
I can see that. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. Especially with Wizards being ahead in this third game, or fourth, my bad. In this fourth game, but uh, it's just a matter of if Wizards and Trinity are really that close, and I think Trinity, when they're warmed up, they are really strong. As Chris gets a very nice flick over Heck.
Well, with this being a best of 7, it kind of gives the players times to like uh, build up a little bit of chemistry with each other. I reckon for when it like gets to them later games.
That is true,
But
and these, especially with these higher MMR players, they are very good at adapting to uh, their opponent's gameplay. But because, like we said before, Wizards adapting to how mechanically skilled Crispp is, and um, that's why I think there is a potential to be a seventh game. So it just depends on how well they both play.
yeah, for sure. But we got 1 minute on the clock, just over 1 minute. But you know, the score's tied, so you never know. There could be an overtime, but with that demo, it's kind of opened a lot of space up. Zoro's gonna have to shadow that one back. He's gonna send it wide, giving Crisp a little time to get back and reposition. Bit of a challenge by Heck, I believe. Yeah. But it's giving Crisp the ball. He's got an opportunity. You've got Heck there to save the ball. Bit of a misplaced one there. Last with the very close save. Zoro's going to pound that one back into the center. Bit of a, let's call it a failed air dribble. I don't want to sound harsh, but you know, it's kind of how it is.
This is true.
He's just going to pound that one to the side. Zoro's, he's just alone in the back, I reckon. But, you know, it's a bit of a, it's a 2-2 because his teammate came back. just gonna palm
Almost
that
gets the
one.
pass down with the double, but
This
gets
is a
it
huge
past.
opportunity for Trinity right now.
They do have possession. Zero with zero boost, but tries to cross to Crispp, but he wasn't ready for it. But
I reckon they could have put a shot on if they both didn't turn away at the same time, but you know,
yeah.
synchronized. The ball's in a pretty rough spot, very tight
Oh,
angle.
what
What a
an
shot by
angle
Heck.
by Heck, and you make it 2-2 in the series. That's going to be a very close series, and it has been the past games, and this series is going to be very close. And do you see it going to 7?
Oh, for sure. We're on a 2-2 each, aren't we? So you can't really say no to a game 7. It just seems like highly probable between these two teams. You just can't really say no. But um,
That
I mean,
is true.
Crisp has these games where he'll pop off for one and then just kind of slump for the next. So I can't really tell if he's like doing it on purpose and trying to make it be game 7, or if he's just trying to he's just trying his hardest and it is what it is.
Hmm.
But you know,
Yeah,
haven't
well,
seen anything too flashy for the past 2 games. So they're kind
yeah,
of
well, Wizards had some really nice double taps in there, but they did pretty good with saving those. Trinity was and Wizards were taking like a lot of aggression to
mhm,
Trinity's half, and I feel like that makes it a difference, a big difference between if they do really good or not. Because Wizards do a very good capitalization on some of the plays and
yeah.
mistakes that Trinity do, uh, and it's just a matter of if Wizards can take those plays and win in these next 2 games, or just get to game 7 and um,
Mhm.
get a close game.
Well, in that previous game, Wizards had 11 shots on net, but they only but Trinity only saved 6 of them. So that means Wizards missed 2 of their shots, considering that they scored 3, which isn't much. But I mean, you got to be hitting them shots, when you have them. Because if you don't, then especially at this level, it's kind of like you you're making it harder for yourself. Because the opportunities don't come as easy as that in such a high level. Because the ball spends half its time in the mid.
Hmm.
But a bit of a fake there, like trying to do it all himself. Zoro on the wall. He's got zero boost. Left Crispp in a bit of a rough spot. He's handled it well. He's off for an air dribble. Oh, he's took it a bit wide. Bit of a shame. Zoro's just going to pound at center again.
It very
Crisp
was
already up.
a good air dribble though, because it was really wow. As Zoro gets a nice angle again, but it really was a good air dribble because of the he controlled it very well, but it was just a little wide, and that was
Yeah, I can
disappointing.
agree with that. He managed to get it up in the air, which most players struggle to do in the first place. But then it was just the issue of trying to put it on net.
Yeah, and I feel like he kind of did recover it a little bit because he was kind of close to the ground, but he's very nice pass down to Lat, but Lat does get the read to Heck in the mid lane. Heck trying to get a good angle down. He tries to get the backwards angle, but he doesn't get it back in the net. But Heck trying for it again off the back wall. Can he get the double? But no, just to its corner. Crisp cleared away by Crisp. Crisp trying to have possession here,
He's
and
flying
he gets
around.
a nice. He's going freestyle Friday, and as Chris reads him really hard, but Lat with the save, and Chris with the 50 with Heck. They a little bit of a double commit by Trinity, but um, it is cleared away by Heck. Little offense opportunity, but kind of throw it away. But Heck trying to resurrect it, but
I
Chris
feel like
cleared it
what
away.
would benefit Wizards the most would be if they could limit the airtime Crisp gets, just because he's kind of just controlled putting the ball in the air. But what I see in like all these Alpha League games is they like to play in the air. They don't really keep the ball on the ground as often. I mean, we've seen a few flicks and like ground plays, but not as many as like the air plays that we've seen today.
Yeah, most of everything was airplay. I totally agree, and it is a really hard task to keep someone from going in the air because that's just kind of the game.
Yeah,
But I feel like they could if they kind of more they are more aggressive towards Crisp, as Chris only almost dunks him. Um, but I feel like they just need to play more offensive because when they play offensive, I feel like they do really good against Crisp, and Crisp kind of doesn't. Uh, I wouldn't say he does bad in the defense, but he doesn't do as good as his offensive opportunities. So um,
yeah. Well, I've noticed in these past few games that the teammates haven't necessarily been doing direct passes to each other, but they've been able to uh clean up any like rebounds that are kind of like out there. So I guess you could
yeah,
say that they're working with one another, but
yeah, I wouldn't
not
say
like
there's
directly.
much direct passes. I mean, obviously there is going to be a lot, or there is some, but I wouldn't say like they're doing it like to the point where it's actually uh very like you know
Yeah.
beneficial. But Chris getting 3-1 for Trinity, but Zoro actually putting a lot of work in this game, gets 2 goals for Trinity, but 3-1, that's a pretty good lead for Trinity, and it's just a matter if they can keep it for the next 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Well, I mean, Trinity have had 5 shots on.
Very nice shot.
Ooh, nice shot by Lat. But like I was saying, Trinity's had 5 shots on the Wizards' net, whereas Wizards have only had like 3. So I reckon if they just had more opportunities, they'd probably be able to win because they're just not getting these opportunities to like actually score. So, but that's a nice flick reset. Shame that Chris was there to save it. But Chris is going to pound that one out. His teammate Hex spawned right in the good position for it. Um, Chris just kind of rotate back. He's going to go for the ball again, actually. With a split decision, last minute decision thing. Zoro's going to get a flip reset, but he's not going to be able to do anything with the ball. He's going to demo that, give a Chris space, but nobody's there on the left.
A lot of
Good
demos
luck.
coming out this game, uh,
Yeah,
and just all the games in general. Just the demo plays between these two teams. As Chris gets a really nice bump onto, I think it was Heck, and that was
yeah.
nice.
Just venting out his anger for beating up his teammate. Honestly, it's a
Yeah,
good way to express gratitude, I guess. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
the demo plays in these games, we haven't seen too much in other games, but we've seen a few of them in this series so far. But um, they do work pretty well if they can get pull them off, but it's very risky. Because
Definitely,
both players are up on the field, and especially in twos, that's a pretty hefty thing to go for. Heck,
for
almost
sure.
gets one on net, but not able.
He's gonna bang that one backboard. He's still got enough boost. How? um, but hey, Zoro on the backflip. I guess that kind of.
What
Never
an
mind, it
angle!
didn't. I
That was
thought
that was kind of
like
nuts.
when Zoro backflips, I thought that would have made Lat just kind of back off because you would assume that he's gonna go for an aerial, but he's just probably got a real quick mind, able
Had
to
to hit him.
adapt to the situation.
Had to hit him with the nice. um, as they almost get another one on net, but it's going to be close. Can they get another one on net for the next 6 seconds? They got to get one more to tie it up for the overtime. No,
Oh, that was like a
no
good
way. I
reflect.
don't think I can get there. Trinity coming up 3-2 in the series. This has been a really close series so far, and I'm excited to see what they have in the last games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, what we're going into like game 5, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wait, no,
Uh,
game six.
oh
Uh,
yeah, game 6. Sorry, yeah, because it's 3-2 for Trinity, isn't it? Crisp,
yep.
I don't know. Crisp is. probably the MVP of this series so far. It seems, coming in with saves and goals when needed. You got 3 assists for the goals Zoro got. Same with Heck. So you got 3 assists for Lat's goals. It's not too bad. Tell the streamer to.
We have to wait
Right.
for it to update this for the stream. But yeah, this Trinity getting some really nice aggression in this last game, and gonna be exciting what they can do. And it's if Chris, like you said, gets that off game or not, and it's gonna be exciting if he does get this on game and see if they can get this shutout here. And if they do, then they win 4-2. And but if they not, they go to game 7, and it's gonna be close.
The thing is, for high level players, all you hear people say is they're just more consistent. But then if you look at Crispp in these games, it's kind of been on and off, isn't it? So it's like, how is that consistent?
That is true.
So maybe it's all a lie. You'll never know.
Maybe life's a lie.
It's all a sham. So here. Oh, a bit of a bunch of that. He's after the moon.
Not able to capitalize on the bump, but
yeah, a bit of a shame. But it's better to play it safe than get scored on.
That is true.
Who's pinging them left, right, and center? I've heard that most players hate it when you play the ball from left to right, like just constantly up and down the field, left, right, left, right.
He doesn't score. Open nets.
Welcome to Alpha League, boys.
Open nets are hard. The hardest shot to make is the open nets, and that's disappointing.
I mean, I can guarantee every viewer that's watching now has missed an open net.
I mean if they own Rocket League, yeah, you never know.
Oh, missed an open net in real life.
Oh yeah. I've personally done that.
Oh yeah, same.
My life is an open.
I had some great times playing what you guys call soccer. I made because I used to do practice with my team, and that I was a pretty bad player, but I managed to score on the keeper, and he got upset and started crying. So, they call me pro.
That's pretty lofty. That's nice. That's a lofty achievement. Not gonna lie.
Ever since they called me a pro football player,
Just if only you could take that to Rocket League, 1v1 situation. He fakes it. He gets a very nice play over Lat, just respawning from the demo, and he doesn't expect the little the turnover to where he's going. So
yeah, just a side swipe.
Yeah, that is a very nice shot by Crispp.
He did it nice, but I don't know. I just kind of expected it to be a bit cleaner. I don't know why, but it's probably my expectations of these high level people just kind of gone up.
That is true. That is true. The first games were definitely very mechanical as heck. Puts a really nice shot on net, and Crispp not able to keep it out of the net. But 2-1, just over half of the game left, and see if Trinity can bring it back and maybe win the series. But I see a game 7 in this series. Honestly, I do see a game 7.
Game 7 upon the horizon. Will that back out? Shame that it was Zoro there to intercept, but that's going to send that one down. Crisp's just kind of waiting there. He's just watching like a hawk. It's kind of scary. If I was in this game, I'd be scared. Luckily, I'm not. I'll probably bring the team down anyway, but hey, at least I can aerial. We got a lot. He's kind of floating off the wall. He's going to roll around, but Chris is going to pre-jump that one. Get a wave, dash and grab some boost. He's maintaining his momentum pretty well. They double commit on that save, but it was quite beneficial because they still managed to get in their half. Well, that's going to send that back down. Chris is going to touch it wide. Heck there to intercept. and Crispp is just waiting there again. It seems like Crispp likes waiting in front, like behind the plate and watching it, rather than like pushing in front of the plate and then not being able to do anything. Which can,
Yeah, that is true, and I feel like Wizards are playing a little defensive. I feel like because Trinity's putting these nice shots on net, and they're doing some pretty good defense though. And Zoro not putting much into this game. I feel like because only the 88 points, but Chris does have possession. Maybe not able, cleared away by Heck. Chris clears it to Heck, but Heck almost puts one in, but cleared away by Crispp and off the post. Sad backfoot by Lat, but saved by Heck off the shot by Zoro. The breezy flick, but he fails it, but it goes back to Heck. What a shot by Heck off the failed attempt of Latumos, and that is so sad. He doesn't get the flip off. 3-1, just under a minute left in this game. Latumos winning that kickoff. But can Wizards bring it to a game 7? I see it. And just cleared away. And Trinity getting a possession, but not able to capitalize on the possession. And it's gonna be a oh my, he almost puts one in. And that, I think, is the game. I think that is the game for Wizards. Gonna be putting it 3-3 in the series. It's gonna come down to game 7, and it's gonna be a pretty close game in my opinion. Especially if Crispp is on his game. If it goes with the pattern that's been going at, Trinity will win, but it's gonna be close if Wizards can get a nice play as Crispp gets one in for Trinity. It's gonna be close, but Heck trying to get something done, but Crispp gets past Heck, one to beat, gets a wave dash, has a very nice flick. Maybe Trinity brings it back here. Maybe they win this and take the series. He's brought it back within one goal. 20 seconds to score one goal. I think they can do it. It's gonna be close, but if Crispp can pull something off here, they do have the possession needed. He almost gets one past of Heck, but Heck gets a very nice save. Latumos just gonna try and waste time. But Zoro reads him. Can they have one last chance? Crispp having one last possession. He dribbles it over, gets a 0-second goal to tie up 4-4 in this game. If they win this game, if Trinity win this game, then they win the whole series. It's going to be very close. Overtime, going to be very close. Having some technical difficulties with my my co-caster here, but it's fine. I'll finish up. Chris having possession. Not able to get it past Heck. Gets it past, but Latumos almost getting the angle as Heck hits one over. And Zoro with, I think it was Zoro or Crispp with the redirect over. It was Crispp. Crispp Heck getting a very nice touch over both defenders and getting Wizards winning this game. That is insane. We're gonna go to game 7. That is so sad that Trinity didn't bring that back because they got a 0-second goal, but very disappointing. Heck goes to the bathroom. It's gonna game 7, I reckon, is gonna be a very close game, but like this one was, but it's gonna be who can bring out the better of themselves and get the better capitalizations on their mistakes. And obviously if Crispp can do well, All right. Game 7's about to be underway. Having some technical difficulties, but Zoro Heck is back, so let's see if they can do something here. Heck winning that kickoff for his team, as Latumos getting the possession off of the kickoff. Gets a little ground pinch. Cleared away by Zoro. Can they get a free goal here? Is that in? It is in. 1-0 here in Game 7. Trinity already showing what they're made of in this Game 7. Wizards already have something to make up within the first 15 seconds of this game. They're going to have to make up 1 goal already. But can Trinity make this game a little bit more towards their favor? It's gonna be close. Crispp showing off that mechanical skill. Latumos has the possession. Gonna be air dribbling it. Trying to get to Heck in the midfield, but tries to go for the flip reset. Not able to capitalize on it. Pass back to Heck. Back to Latumos. Latumos has the possession. Tries to get the little flick off. As Crispp getting to his corner over Heck. Crispp does have a possession here, but demoed by Heck. Gonna have Wizards the possession here in the corner. Heck trying to go for a ceiling shot. 50. Latumos trying to turn for that, but Zoro up for the ball, but back into Crispp. But Heck gets a very nice 50, but hits the crossbar and it's not in. Latumos with the shot, but saved by Crispp. What a close Game 7 so far. It's both teams putting nice possessions. Not many goals are scored yet, and it's going to be very close. What do you think is going to win this game, Khalim?
Oh my god. Well, Trinity is trying to run away with it. Once they run away, you kind of don't see them turning back, do they? Same situation with the other team. If they ran away with like few goals at the start, they kind of hold on to them, don't they? They're just pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, I thought Wizards was going to tie it up there for a second, but it hit the crossbar now. As Crispp gets a very nice flick, but saved by Latumos. What a save. Going to be to the sidewall. Crispp trying to go for the double touch, but not able to get it, but cleared by Latumos. Latumos going to have possession, trying to clear it away, but Latumos is going to have possession. Can he flick it over Crispp? But Crispp stops it from going there. Heck is a very nice shot, but saved by Zoro. The power between these two teams is just insane, but Trinity is having this lead, and it's going to be whether they can hold it or not, or if they can.
Oh, that's a good shot.
if they can hold it on, or just throw completely. But
I mean, we haven't seen either team throw a lead, have we? Like a really big lead. Yeah.
No, I don't think we have. But you missed last game where they had a very nice 0-second goal. Trinity did to tie it up, but they ended up losing to Wizards. So to go to Game 7, big sad.
That's kind of brutal. It really is. But here we got these guys just kind of fumbling around, knocking the ball.
That is true.
You know, they're just like, how would I put it? So when you watch pro gameplay, everything seems very, what's the word, coordinated. But when you watch this, it's kind of like
they're kind of
everyone out there for themselves.
Yeah, I got you. Trying to,
because like we've seen quite a few double commits, a few bumps on each other's teammates, so it's kind of like you can't really do much about it, can you?
A lot of solo plays coming out by Crispp as well too. Seen that a lot. It's like his air dribbles and all that is not too bad, but it's just you could have a lot more like I guess possibilities if you pass it with his teammate, but I feel like he kind of just kind of takes it and tries to score, I guess.
Yeah, like my first league game of this season in Omega League was against Scubs and some other guy. I can't remember his name, but like they were really really good with their passing plays. Like every
We'll have to
shot they
double
did was
tap.
just a passing play. So I'm quite surprised that players like these aren't really doing many of them. That was a nice double touch though.
Yeah, I think this might be sealed away for Trinity,
Well,
because
50 seconds on the board with 3 goals up.
that is true,
That
and
was a good beat by at lot.
he does bring it back within two. They probably got to score within 20 seconds or so to get a good chance at getting the third one, but um, it's gonna be definitely very hard for Wizards to bring this back, definitely. But this is decently close. Ooh, my bad. Game 7.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
It's the
these
demo.
players. Oh, it's an open net as well. Another. Oh, he nearly got the second demo without being awful. But hey, Wizards are clawing their way back. There's 1 goal to get to make it a draw in 30 seconds. It's a huge possibility for them to actually take this one if they put the shift in. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. The bumps really did help them though for that second goal. So maybe they start doing a few more in these last 30 seconds. Bit of a
Yeah, Chris cleared it
lucky
away
touch.
for his team. Both teams showing a lot of aggression, but as he almost gets the ground pinch, but can Wizards pull it back after being 1 goal down? They did bring it back from being 3 goals down, but they have one
Was
last
the one of
possession, but they give it away to Crispp, and they hit the
the ball
ground.
down?
That is such a
Uh,
sad loss by Wizards, and it's gonna be eh, it's gonna be very demoralizing, I should say, with the Wizards. I feel like um, to going to Game 7 and losing it all there. That's pretty disappointing.
well, on that note, Wizards have been knocked out of playoffs. Bit of a unfortunate turn of events for them, but I mean, making it to playoffs is an achievement within itself. So they can't really leave disheartened, can they?
That is true, and Trinity going on to verse the winner of Dragons and Sonics. Sonics' game for the final championship game um, for Alpha League.